to episode 73 of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast.
Woo!
We are here at the NOE studio in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was here in person last week.
But-
You weren't by myself.
You weren't social distancing yourself, though.
No,
The solo recording.
which
Yeah.
I'd like some feedback from people who listen to it. Was that worthwhile? Was it interesting? Or are you like Travis and just turned it off as soon as you heard I was by myself?
Yeah, so send us an email and give us feedback.
Or like the rest of us who, excuse me, who haven't listened to it yet.
I listened to it.
What did you think?
I thought it was good.
Cool.
I do like the banter between
Yeah,
the people.
it was
the best.
definitely different, but
So the banter was kind of creepy with Jason and
Yeah, Jason was bantering with himself. And so,
I thought about doing voices when I was reading the stories.
That's a good idea.
But no,
yeah, that would have been weird.
that's kind of what I thought.
So, anyways, we have me, Taco.
Jason, Concealment Solutions.
And Mag Holder Mark is back.
All right.
Here I am.
Okay, and we do not have any listener feedback for today, but we wanted to ask for feedback for the last episode where Jason did the story time with
Would
Jason.
somebody please listen to it and let us know what you think?
And here's the thing. If you totally hated it and you don't let us know, then you might get it
You
another
might get
one.
more.
Because we don't know you hated it.
Right.
If you liked it, let us know because we might think you hated it and then we won't do it again.
So
Yeah.
I like the subject matter very much. I really
Yeah.
kind of think Porter Rockwell is way cool.
Yeah.
There was a discussion on social media, which you probably missed because you never read your comments.
Oh. There was a discussion on my social media?
Yeah, it was
Which-
on your Facebook.
Oh.
No, yeah, it was on
It
Facebook.
had to be Facebook. I do see Instagram more, but I don't
Yeah.
ever get on Facebook.
So it was a provocative subject. You had conversation about it.
Huh.
So you'll have to look it up.
He has to read his own comments.
Yep.
Yeah,
At least
Jason.
Facebook.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's hit some sponsors.
So
Mark?
I would like to talk about Tackware. Jason is giving Christmas gifts this year from Tackware, which I think is a great idea.
I am.
And there's many opportunities for lights, for titanium gadgets.
Yep.
Everybody needs a titanium toothpick and a grappling hook and a bunch of flashlights.
Yeah.
Taco 10.
Save
Now-
you 10%.
If you aren't following them on social media, you probably should, because Black Friday they had a 50% off sale
Flashlights, right?
off the flashlights.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of them. So, yeah, follow them on social media so you're in the loop when stuff like that comes around.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Lights are cool. I just think they're really, really cool.
It's funny. Guns, flashlights, knives, we can't get enough of them.
Right, yeah. Even when you have a bunch, then
Exactly.
you can always use a few
Yeah,
extra.
you always need one that's
Right.
just a little different.
Uh-huh.
Also, relevant to the conversation we were having on text today, NOE bullet molds. If you happen to have 410 pounds of lead,
411.
411.
Don't cut it short. My labors.
if you have 411 pounds of lead laying around, or now laying around because it's all melted
In nice
together,
ingots.
Yeah,
Yep.
shiny, beautiful ingots.
then you need to pour them through some NOE bullet molds. If you had the 500 grain one for the 4570, which it seems like a good candidate for a subsonic load for my 4570 with my
Oh,
new
yeah.
suppressor, you could make 5,740 odd projectiles with that 410 pounds of lead.
Get cracking.
Yeah.
So NOE bullet molds, amazing. The extra finish on them is spectacular with the Teflon coated thingy on top. What's it?
Sprue plate.
Yeah,
Sprue
sprue
plate.
plate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Jason even knows.
Yeah.
I listen.
But and Al is just a good guy. He knows more about projectiles and bullets and diameters and lead and all that kind of stuff than anybody ever should.
Yeah, that is true.
So call him up and let him tell you what you need to fulfill your dreams.
He'll educate you.
NOE bullet molds. Fulfill your dreams.
Yes. And there's a code for there, too.
Yeah, use coupon code FLT001, and that'll save you 10%. And it is stackable with your $1,000 discount.
Wow.
Wow.
It actually, you can save some big bucks when you buy some other expensive stuff.
How
Yeah,
do you get $1,000 discount?
spend $1,000 previously.
Really?
Yeah,
That's like
I got that discount pretty quick. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Is that kind of like Sportsman's Warehouse where you get like this reward thing and it builds up and then you get free clothes?
But probably something like that, except it just gives you an extra discount.
Men's Warehouse, not Sportsman's
Oh.
Warehouse. Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking Sportsman's Warehouse, but yeah, that's... Sportsman's Warehouse should give you like free primers, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
But
And finally, mag holder. So good news with the company is we've been busy, especially with all of the election weirdness and people buying lots of guns. So we've been busier than we have been in a long time. And since my wife, Shimei, is running customer service, we have not gotten orders out longer than 2 days. So
Wow.
most of them are going next day.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
Like the ones we just delivered to Jason
Yeah.
tonight, he ordered them yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
So please do that and get in the van. I have candy, 20.2% discount.
Wow. So I've noticed something interesting with my business. So times are a little bit weird right now. Guns are harder to find. It's interesting. I'll notice, so-and-so's got, like recently I've noticed P365 XLs in a couple places. All of a sudden, that's all my orders are P365 XLs, and you're probably selling a bunch more mag holders for 'em.
Exactly right. So whenever a manufacturer releases a big batch of something,
Right.
about 3 days, 4 days later, you get these huge orders.
And then
Yeah.
we see it come through us. Yeah, I think that's funny. You don't see it as much in normal times when there's normal inventory levels and everything, but it's just kind of funny
Yep.
how, so every shop's so low on stuff, and then when something hot comes in, all of a sudden you see it reflected in orders. And
Yep. So the P365 XLs are peaking right now, and what's declining right behind them though is the 43Xs,
yeah,
because there was a big wave of 43Xs.
yeah, everybody
Like
had
a month
Glocks,
ago.
and
Yeah.
now.
That's funny.
Now,
You guys-
now the Glocks are kind of fading away, and the SIGs are starting to come in. And
Yep.
I suspect we'll see Springfield soon. I'm starting to see a couple Springfields showing up again.
A few of the Hellcats,
The Springfield XDSs. I haven't
No.
seen any Hellcats.
Springfield XDS,
But
9
XDSs.
millimeters.
Yeah.
So they have a long slide too, but they just don't.
There is a long slide
Yeah.
version. I bought one when they first came out. I was super
How long did
excited.
you own it?
I owned it for about 2 months.
That's not bad for you.
Well, I was super excited. It was going to be my new carry gun because the short grip, long slide makes sense to me as a carry gun because
Right.
you have the longer sight radius and you have a shorter grip, which is the part that's hard to
Right.
hide. I couldn't shoot that gun. It wasn't horrible, but it was just, it shot nice, tight groups. They just weren't where they were supposed to be. And so I actually sold it to my leather supplier,
Oh.
the guy that makes my belts and stuff.
Does he like it?
And
or-
I didn't say anything to him about it because I'm like, I know it's me.
Does he listen to the podcast?
I don't know. I know it's me. And I sold it to him, and I saw him a couple weeks later, and he was like, "Hey, you know that gun you sold me?" I'm like, "Oh crap!" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That thing's a tack driver." Okay, good. It was just the way I held it. I don't know, but it just, and I thought, I like this gun. I like the configuration. It feels good. It shoots nice. It just doesn't hit where it's supposed to.
Right.
I can train myself, and I can get it where it needs to be. But I thought, what's the point? Because I would shoot it, put it down, pick up my Glock. Every shot was right where it was supposed to be. Pick it up. Nope, they're not where they're supposed to be. Pick up my SIG. It's right where it's supposed to be. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to teach myself how to shoot all over again just so I can shoot this gun. So,
So speaking of long slides,
yes.
I had a regular Glock 43 forever
And a 48.
and a 48.
Yes.
So I turned the 48 into a 43X and sold that to my neighbor. And then he sold to his friend. He told his friend about the 43 with the 48 slide.
Yeah.
I sold that to that guy.
Yeah. See, I like that combo better. I
Right.
like the 48 slide on the 43.
Yeah, I mean it's a shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird, but it's
That's because when you had yours, I had them at my
Yeah.
shop, and I
switched
them around and
Yeah.
I shot it that way. Now, this is cool. I like that. But
The neighbor that got the 43X
uh-huh.
is a newly sworn police officer,
Nice.
and he got the Daddy Shark backplate.
Oh,
on it,
nice.
too. Yeah.
Okay, what did we do with guns?
Mark?
I brought my suppressor here to show everyone.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
It's like Christmas early.
yeah. Well, it was basically I spent 4.5 months waiting for the tax stamp, and it showed up.
That's crazy
Shocking.
fast.
I was not expecting
That
it
was
till, like,
way fast.
February. or
Did you do
March.
it on a trust or an individual?
Individual.
Okay, individual has been faster.
Faster.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
But I'm happy about it. It's black, cylindrical, and round-ish.
And there's a hole in the middle.
There's a hole in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The reason it's the Griffin Armament Bushwhacker, and the reason that I got it is it's obviously 45 caliber. You can get different thingies for the front of it to make it, 30 caliber.
Different
whatever.
thingies for the
Hey,
front.
that's the technical term. I
Yep.
understand.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
the end caps.
Arguably, it is supposed to be like 1 or 2 decibels quieter than the Silencer Co. one, the hybrid, supposedly. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like it's a little bit longer.
I was able to put one of the things that I really appreciated. I got some Corbon sort of plus P 4570 stuff in 430 grain. The suppressor does an amazing job at taming recoil,
Yeah.
way better than any muzzle device I've ever seen. So I'm really happy with it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. You'll have to come over sometime and do some casting. Do some casting and
If you just find somebody
make
with
some
lead.
nice. Yeah. If only. Or you could always get some at noebulletmolds.com.
Yes, you can.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So I had a friend who came in and he bought I think 100 pounds of lead from.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, I cannot find bullets. I need bullets.
Yeah.
And so he said, okay, Mike, I bought 100 pounds of lead. I'm coming over sometime. So I'll help him make some 9mm.
Cool.
So that's what I did. I picked up my suppressor and went and shot it. That's it.
Have you shot anything subsonic yet?
No.
Okay. You should buy Trail Boss powder while it's
Can
in
you still find
stock
it?
and
Right.
findable or whatever. But yeah, so get some Trail Boss.
Isn't it kind
And
of
then-
dirty?
It's stinky.
Stinky's okay.
Yeah, dirty. I don't care about dirty because I just clean my guns when they fail. I was gonna say, I used to clean them every single time after I shot them,
Right.
and then I'd kill myself time wise
Yep.
just cleaning every single
Yeah.
gun,
I agree.
and then now I have the opposite approach: is I keep shooting it till it has a problem, and then I clean it. But we live in
I'm
here's
somewhere
the
in
thing.
between that.
We live in Utah, and it's super dry here.
Yeah.
True.
And so we don't have the same issues where,
Humidity.
humidity will.
Seeping in and creeping in
And I do
and
have,
collecting on gun stuff.
yeah, I do have those little hot rods. What do you call those things? The hot rod. The little heat rods
Yeah,
that
for
you go go inside.
Desiccants for your safe.
Yeah. So there's some that are, you plug them in and they have power, and then it's just a little bronze rod or brass rod or something like that.
It's a dehumidifier.
And
Mhm.
heat,
Mm.
yeah, dehumidifies. So.
Yeah.
So that's what yeah. So my guns don't get rust, but sometimes they do get quite dirty.
Yeah.
But
So when do you clean your suppressors? And how do you do it?
my rifle suppressors,
Yeah.
I clean them
When they fail.
Yeah.
when, when they're loud again.
I shoot a lot of subsonic stuff, and you build more carbon up that way. And then so you take a full power 308 or something and shoot it through it.
They just blow it out.
It kind of like knocks stuff loose and burns stuff out. So the sealed rifle cans, that's what you do. And that's what the suppressor manufacturers will tell you to do too. But there is a way to clean it. I'm not going to say it on the air because there could be harmful byproducts. But actually, I'll say it anyways. There's people who use CLR in the suppressors. And so you'd have to contact your suppressor manufacturer to make sure if it's okay to use CLR in that. But some of the byproducts could be harmful, so you got to do it outside.
So you just spray it all in there and then slosh it around like oven cleaner and dump it out?
Yeah, like I said, part of it depends on, the suppressor. If it's like a serviceable one that you can pull the baffles out, dump them in a tub of CLR, have it because it foams up and everything goes nuts. Soak it for a bit, and then you wipe them off.
Does any of that stuff hurt the anodization?
See, that's the thing where you'd have to talk to the suppressor manufacturers and do that. So that was one of the reasons I wasn't going to say it, but I figured I'd just say it. But with the disclaimer of you got to talk to your suppressor manufacturers.
Because I actually took the anodization off of an AR lower with CLR.
Oh, really?
I did.
Yeah.
Because I had my lower sitting in a shopping bag that I brought in the house, and it leaked.
Wow, so the CLR leaked through the bag, or the container, and onto the receiver, and totally did that. I was going to say, I took some coating, it might have been the anodization, off of a suppressor part when I did a sonic cleaner.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes,
Can you just
sonic cleaner is good for stainless steel baffles and stuff, but it will remove any kind of coating, like if you have coating. Yeah, and the thing about the aluminum suppressors, the anodization helps protect the aluminum under. Yeah,
right.
So you don't want to do that. So you got to be really careful how you clean your suppressors and what you use. But if you have any questions, it's super easy to contact the suppressor manufacturers and ask them. But as a general rule, I don't clean my sealed suppressors. So the rifle ones, I'll just shoot some hotter, full power ammo.
Do you ever pour water in them and just to make them extra quiet and blow the gunk out?
Nah.
Doesn't help?
It's messy.
Okay.
If you like getting carbon water all over, It's kind of like when you oil a gun too much.
Yeah.
And then you get that black oil everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but really, the sealed suppressors, like that one, I don't think that one comes apart.
It does.
The baffles come out and everything? Oh, okay. Then that's easy.
Of course it does. It's at least as good as yours.
Yeah, mine doesn't come apart.
It doesn't?
Not the hybrid.
Yours is better than his.
Well, that's the debatable thing, because most rifle cans, like dedicated rifle cans, are sealed suppressors, and they just say you don't clean them. You don't need to clean them. 22s, those are super dirty because you get lead and the lube and carbon. So they gunk up suppressors really bad, really fast. And so if you shoot more than one big box of 22 through your suppressor, you might have welded it shut with carbon and lead and stuff. So sometimes it gets crazy. So
but those you can take apart, right?
Yeah, that's why they make 22 suppressors serviceable, so you can take out the baffle stack and everything to clean. So
yeah, this has got this locking spring thing on the front, and I haven't had it all the way apart, but just a little bit.
Okay, so do you know if the whole baffle stack comes out?
It does.
The whole thing? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so my Octane 45, it's the pistol 45 suppressor. That one it's serviceable, so the baffle stack comes out, and then I, clean it that way, sonic clean it or whatever, scrub it. So
cool.
So cool, you got that new toy. We should load some heavy subs. And even the 405s with Trail Boss, I helped a friend load up some, and he just had the time of his life.
Neat.
So, cool. Jason, what'd you do with guns?
I actually did quite a bit. So I helped my cousin's son build his first AR. Absolutely one of the most frustrating builds I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they could be frustrating.
I know. Sometimes, Okay, I helped his older brother do one. Fastest build. We had the whole thing, the upper, the lower, everything done in less than an hour, which that's pretty quick for a complete build. So this one, I mean, it was missing some of the roll pins weren't right, so I had to find the right roll pins. Some of the other roll pins, they just didn't want to go in, and they bent and they mushroomed, and it was like, yeah.
Was it the lower or was it the...
It was like for the gas block was one of the ones that gave me problems. Okay. I've got all the special tools. I've got roll pin punches and stuff like that.
So the roll pin starter punches and stuff?
Yeah.
And it's still mushroomed and everything?
Yeah.
Man, you must have twisted that thing a little bit.
I was in a hurry when he came with it, so that was probably...
That's the problem.
Most of the problem.
Probably.
It's like when you go and pick up your falconry bird and you're in a hurry to get out to the car because it's getting dark. If you try to rush, everything goes to heck.
Yeah. So it was frustrating, but got it together. He went out and shot it. Everything was great with one exception. So he bought one of the...
You got a bullet stuck in the barrel like Stan?
No.
It shoots lower to the left?
No. So he put one of those drop-in triggers from Davidson's in it.
Yeah.
I think you have the exact same one that's a flat trigger with kind of the half circle on the back of it.
Now it's full auto?
It's biometric, where it fires when you pull it and it fires when you release it.
Binary.
That's it.
Biometric.
I knew.
You put your thumb on it and it
goes off. Yeah, and he's like, so is that normal? I'm like, that's not normal and that's not safe. And
did they accidentally give him the binary one? Because I'll trade him.
I've got
those cost a lot more than the regular ones.
It was like $130, which is not what one of the binary ones would cost. So anyway, that was his only complaint, and he was having trouble getting hold of Davidson's to get it fixed.
So what happens if you change your mind after you pull the trigger?
That's exactly what I don't like about them.
You can't change your mind on this.
No.
Let go.
On the binaries, you can.
How do you do it?
If you want to stop shooting while
you put a clothespin on it.
No, you just flip safety, and then when you release it, it won't fire.
He might be able to do that with this. I don't know.
See, it's a feature.
Maybe.
Not a problem.
Maybe.
I would really like to see the trigger.
Yeah. I'll see if he still has it, if he's having trouble getting it swapped out or whatever. But that was the only problem with that. I picked up a new optic for my AR-45.
What'd you get?
I got a Hollow Sun, and I can't remember the model.
Red dot.
It's a green dot.
Green dot.
And it's got the little circle with the dot in the middle, or with it, or without it, or with both. And it's got the little solar panel. And it's got the little hood that goes over the top of it is titanium.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fancy. Anyway, so I threw that on the...
So Hollow Sun has been producing some pretty decent stuff lately.
Yeah. A lot of the 3-gun guys that I build gear for are really... liking the Hollow Sun stuff.
They make the pistol optics. Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the 3-gun guys are going to, so.
We may need to hit up this guy, but there's a guy, FFL, that does stuff out of his house in Lehigh.
Okay.
My hometown. And he's a Hollow Sun dealer.
Oh.
So maybe we should hit him up on stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Or look at Palmetto. Palmetto sometimes has the craziest deals on stuff.
They do.
Buy this and get 10 mags free.
Yeah.
Except right now, that's,
It used to be, buy this AR and get a free shield. Free M&P shield with every purchase.
Wow.
I also delivered Grandma's AR.
Good.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I put pictures of it on my Instagram and Facebook feed. Absolutely gorgeous. A rose pattern on it. I mean, trust me, it looks 10 times better in person than it does in the pictures. It really was impressive. She came over last night. I handed it to her. She actually teared up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was so impressed with it and so happy to have it. This is something she's. I just feel like I've needed an AR for a while.
She's the coolest grandma
she's like,
ever.
I'm just totally relieved now that I have it. And I'm like, well, good. I'm glad. And she was totally blown away with how it looked, and yeah, so that was really fun.
We need to have Grandma on our podcast.
She probably would. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Be cool.
She told me she did take a long range shooting class too.
Grandma,
that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, Yeah.
This is great.
So blackicecoatings.com.
blackicecoatings.com. If you haven't used them for something, you're crazy.
You need to send in Grandma's AR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work done so well, it'll make you cry.
Yeah. And use the code SLICKERY.
Maybe their code should be Grandma.
Wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was other things, but that's enough for me.
Cool. My turn.
Yep.
Okay, so today I spent multiple hours slaving away over
Over a hot
a
stove.
hot
Cauldron.
stove. Yeah, cauldron. Yeah, that kind of sums it up. Yeah, Dutch oven full of
toil and trouble.
yeah. That Dutch oven, holds more than 150 pounds of lead in it.
It does?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like. Well, lead is so heavy.
It's
Like once you
very
start
dense.
melting, it's super dense. So I ended up wanting to get a ladle for pouring the ingots that was like a little bit bigger than the little stainless steel one I have that flexes.
Right.
So I was on eBay and I was looking at all these old blacksmith like cast iron ladles and stuff. And I ordered one and it was a lot bigger than I thought.
It's like
It's-
a 15-pound ladle.
Almost, well, yeah, when you fill it up with the lead, then it's yeah. So it holds at least 7 pounds of lead in the ladle.
Wow.
So I dipped this huge, I'm two-hand dipping this huge ladle into this, big Dutch oven pot full of, 100 pounds of lead. Or
You could use that to pour the lead over onto the attacking hordes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
From the buttresses or whatever.
But anyways, it was kind of cool to do, but it's very taxing on your arms, back, shoulders, legs, feet. Doing that for hours and hours. So
and your nervous system because of the lead fumes.
No, there's no lead fumes.
Have you ever been tested?
I get tested every year at my annual physical,
Great.
and it always comes back normal.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, you got to just worry about eating, like ingesting it is more like how you'd get it.
Yeah, I strongly
Or-
discourage eating lead.
Yeah, eating lead just is not very good. Or if you were to breathe in dust particles, that's more likely than lead fumes because you're melting the lead. You're making it go from a solid to a liquid.
Right.
You're not going from a solid to a gas.
Hopefully.
You're not boiling it,
Right.
and so you're just heating it up to melting temperature. So, anyways, did 411 pounds of lead into ingots.
Jeez.
And, I guess part of that is I got rid of 2 guns. And, yeah.
I haven't heard this for.
Yes.
I haven't been here like for 5 or 6 weeks. So where are we at now?
There's a guy who is moving, and he was a bullet caster.
Oh.
So I talked to Travis
Is this
from Buckeye
somebody
Targets.
that you knew?
Travis from Buckeye Targets gave me a
Okay.
heads up. And anyways, so I traded my KS-47. That's the AR-15 that takes AK mags.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that the Howa 1500 and 243 that I just bought. And the reloading dice because I bought it and,
Right.
bought reloading dice. And also some money. And then I got over 1,000 pounds of lead. And I got it's the Master Caster casting pot. Those usually go for, 1,000, 1,200 or so.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
So
I
this is
got...
not a crock pot.
It's not a crock pot. This is for pouring bullets. It's pretty cool. It's, you do this, you actuate the handle and it cuts the sprue plates and drops the bullets for you. There's a little bit of automation done to it already. And he had included this automation control panel, but I don't know enough to get that going.
You need to
At
find
least
an IT
quite yet.
guy.
I need to. What I need to do is let Travis from Buckeye Targets let him borrow it. And then
Set it up for you.
Set it up, get it all working, and then let him use it for a while, cast a bunch of bullets, and it. Anyways, he's really into automation with reloading, so he does a lot of.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen any of his
No.
reloading stuff?
Push a button and it goes.
It goes,
Yeah.
by itself. So that's how Travis reloads. But I did that. So some of that lead that I processed today was from that big trade. And he had this big homemade melting pot that was like, you know, the propane tanks on the forklifts?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it had just the round part cut off the top.
Yeah.
And so it's like this huge thing. And then he welded some like angle iron and stuff.
Some legs to
for
it.
legs, for
Yeah.
support and everything. So he made this huge pot. That thing probably holds like, I don't know, 400, 500, 600 pounds of lead. I don't know.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine how much that would weigh when it was full.
Yeah.
And so I need to get a hose for it and, you know, make sure it has the right burner and stuff below
Right.
it. But that would be so awesome to do some bulk lead processing. But
Isn't that what you did today?
yeah, except, you know, I did, what was it, four batches of like, you know, melt, heat it
Yeah.
up till the pot is full, and then you flux it, and then you
Okay.
pour ingots and stuff like that.
Are these ready for final in the bullet mold, or do you still need to add stuff?
So they're cleaned and fluxed and everything, but it just depends on what alloy I want to use.
Right.
So this lead is a little bit softer. I will probably want to add some, a little bit more tin and antimony to it to make it into the hardness and properties that I want.
But they may be good for your air gun pellets.
It's probably a little harder
Oh,
than that. With the air gun stuff, you really need like
super soft.
pretty much pure with, you know, if you're going to add anything, just tin, not antimony. But yeah. And then I brought this, you guys can see, but it's the 195 grain NOE 38 special bullet, hollow point bullet that was designed for the snubbies.
Deep hollow
Wow.
point.
Yeah. The bullet is goes into the case a decent amount too.
Yeah.
So that would actually be something good to cast out of the lead that I processed today.
It's like a
Where you want
hollow
something-
point wad cutter.
Yeah, that's kind of what it
Yeah,
is.
Because
Yeah.
it's just a very blunt end with
It's like a
cavernous
yeah,
in the middle
it's
of
like
it.
an open barrel flying at you.
Yeah.
It's like a shot glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So
That's
I
cool.
need to get some time to shoot it into some gel. I think I'm going to take a day off from work and just go shooting because I went shooting over the Thanksgiving break, but it wasn't really great shooting, like productive shooting, because it was with family and
Family ruins everything.
well, it's just you become the range safety officer
Yeah.
or range master and prevent people from, you know,
Shooting each other.
shooting each other or doing unsafe things. In our case, I kept having to remind people, you know, hey, take a half step forward. Hey, you take a half step back. You know,
Right.
just to keep the muzzles around the same
Right.
same line. I
Right.
guess there were some motorbike
You should
riders.
just be out there and disqualify him, send him back to the car.
You're DQ'd.
Yeah, well, there's so many new shooters that you're trying to get, you know, familiar with guns, and so it's hard to do your fun shooting
Right.
when
You can't.
you're taking care of new shooters.
Yep.
You
So-
can't. Yeah. When I've done stuff like that, it's like I don't even. I've gone out shooting and not even shot because of that.
Yeah,
scenario.
I will do a plug for that 300 blackout bunny fart single shot, you know, encore. I brought the pistol.
Because you haven't plugged in enough.
Yeah, I know.
The taco load.
But it was the best thing for like the kids. Like
Yeah.
my twin girls, they're 11. You could just set them up and they could shoot it. The silencer makes the barrel a little bit longer, and you know it seems like it helps people keep it pointed in the right direction when it's a
Yeah.
longer barrel.
Well, and they're sitting on bipods too, aren't they?
No, just a rest.
Oh, okay.
But it was funny. It has like a holographic sight on top, and so you know it's a simple process. Crack it open, stick a round in,
Right.
close it, cock the hammer, pull the trigger, and you know, bing.
Yep.
But low recoil, quiet, fun stuff. So we shot I need to set up my Dillon with that 300 blackout load and just crank out like, I don't know, 5,000 of them or something. Try and get ahead of it.
Good idea.
But I also played around with the 9x25 Dillon.
Oh.
I got some dies, so I was just trying to make some dummy rounds. I made some dummy rounds. I messed up, crushed some cases first because they didn't provide an expander die. So I just grabbed my 9mm expander die and then did that. But it took me a couple times before I realized what was going on. But did that, and I played with the 45 Win Mag, making some dummy rounds, getting ready to do some loading for that. The 45 Win Mag is not the 458 Win Mag.
Right.
It's just like a 45 ACP if you just grew the case out a little bit.
So what's the other one that is like that?
Well, you got 10 millimeter, 40,
yeah, right, but then
10 millimeter Magnum.
there is a 45 something. I don't remember the name of it, but somebody else has a longer case 45 ACP. So anyway, is it thicker?
It is a little bit. Yeah,
too?
you can run I think about close to twice the pressure of
45
the 45 ACP.
Does it use big or small primers?
Big. So that's kind of nice.
It is.
And so as I was playing around with these different things, then I was talking with a buddy of mine, the guy who builds rifles and stuff, and we were talking about creating our own cartridge. And so we've been playing around with some cartridge design and stuff. But the idea of what we want to do is make something that's cheap to load and has readily available components right now. So
no small pistol primers.
Yeah, large pistol or large rifle primers. And so we were looking at cutting. At first we were doing a 45 Win Mag neck down, but we wanted to 35.
Cool.
But it didn't give us enough length that we wanted. And so we started looking at the cutting down 308 cases and necking it up to 35 cal. And then having a longer neck so that it's a little bit better for shooting cast bullets. And with the 12 twist barrel, I think we can stabilize these one. NOE makes a heavy, what is it? Not for a 35 Remington, 35 Wayland bullet, I believe, a pointy one. And that one would fit pretty good in the. Anyways, so cast bullets usually do better in longer necked cartridges.
Because there's more
cases.
bearing surface to grip.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't spin, get loose and gunky.
Yeah, and well, there's some other reasons, but anyway, so we drew up a prototype case for this, and we're just gonna. I think we're gonna try and build a rifle out of it, and then see how it does. But kind of a cool thing, make your own cartridge.
Sure.
So, and since it looks like the old is it Martini Henry or Henry Martini rifle, with the short stubbier case with a long neck, then we nicknamed it the 35 Taco Teeny. So yeah, so I think we're really gonna do it though.
Cool.
And that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did with guns.
All right.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Now that we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Who else is sponsoring the podcast?
Utah Air Guns. My oldest son was telling me he's thinking about getting an air gun.
Cool.
It's like, cool. And become addicted like the rest of us have and spend way too much money on toys.
But there are some.
There's some good affordable stuff.
Yes.
He's a
penny pincher.
He is. He's really, really good with his money. And I give him grief sometimes for being cheap, but he'll spend money on quality stuff when he feels it's necessary. But I, on the other hand, I'd spend my last dollar on a new bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
And be like, more money's probably coming.
Yeah. Well, and me, it's like I got how many more casting? So I ended up getting 3 casting pots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you needed more.
Because I only had.
You only had
2 plus the Dutch oven.
Right.
And, casting pots. That's my thing. But bikes are yours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, Utah Air Guns. They had a little incident this week or last week.
What was that?
Somebody walked in and walked out with inventory.
You're kidding.
They had everything on video, like good video. Zoom in on the license plate on the dude's face. Realized he was wearing a hat from the place that he worked.
Wow.
Yeah, they had him and the stuff recovered within 12 hours.
So this is also our self-defense in the
yeah,
story, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it pays to have good video surveillance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sharp people that notice things. But
What's on his hat?
yeah.
Hey, let's see if he works there.
Yeah. Does this guy look familiar? Oh yeah, that's the owner. No. So anyway, that was cool that they were able to recover everything. But awesome stuff at Utah Air Guns, and everything from very affordable to stuff you're only going to dream about.
Yeah, pretty much.
And everything in between. But go to UtahAirGuns.com, use the code AirCandy at checkout.
That's a good code.
You won't get a discount, but you will get free shipping and free scope turret stickers.
Neat.
Yeah,
Awesome.
pretty good stuff. So go check them out. Concealment Solutions, concealmentsolutions.com. Been super busy this week.
Good.
So for your holster needs,
Yeah.
concealmentsolutions.com.
We did run a Black Friday deal that is now past. If you missed that, well, you missed it.
It was Black Friday all the way to the next Friday.
It was almost. Yeah. So if you missed that, you have nobody to blame but yourself. But there may be some more stuff.
Neat.
It is, after all, Henry's birthday.
Oh, good.
There may be a celebration for Henry the Shop Dog's 9th birthday.
Good. Henry deserves it.
But anyway, check it out. The hot thing this week, Cobra drop leg holsters with tactical lights. Sold more this week than I think I have in all the months since I released it.
Wow.
So it's interesting how sometimes something will be, you release it and, you get a few orders here and there, and some time goes by and all of a sudden it just catches on and they start flying out the door.
Have you ever built a holster for a Desert Eagle?
Yes.
Drop leg.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the very early ones. More than one. Problem is I don't have a Desert Eagle mold. And so
Yeah.
you have
So
to
next
bring
time
me
you
the
order,
gun.
you have to go out and buy one.
Well, there's a couple different models. Like the newer ones have a rail on the bottom.
Yeah.
And on top, I believe.
I think you're right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a friend.
Nobody makes molds for the Desert Eagle guns either.
Maybe you have to
I
buy
don't
one
know
then.
why. It's just not a gun I've ever wanted.
Get one in 357.
At Discount Guns and Ammo, they got a gold one.
Ooh.
When? Since when?
Not Discount. It's Get Some.
Oh,
Guess
get
so.
Over
some.
at Get Some, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want that.
Get one in 357. It's not bad, or a 44 mag.
Have you ever made one for a Kunin 357 1911?
I have had requests, but that is like a unicorn.
It is.
And yeah. So anyway, go check out concealmentsolutions.com. Use the code Show Me the Candy. Show Me the Candy will save you 15%.
Excellent. Hey, self-defense in the news.
I'll have to do a fast one.
It's fascinating because a person in New York City got in a fight with some other person in New York City, and then he stabbed the guy. That guy died.
Who started the fight?
Well, that's what's unclear.
Okay.
But what's fascinating is the overall fact that a grand jury looked at it and set the guy free
On self-defense?
on self-defense. But the DA wanted to just flat charge him, but they took it to the grand jury for some reason. I don't know if it's some New York State thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But the grand jury, even though reading the news article, it just sounds weird. So here's the quick text. An accused killer was released from jail Thursday after a Bronx grand jury determined he acted in self-defense when he stabbed his girlfriend's ex to death.
Oh.
There's a lot of sketchiness in there,
Yeah,
isn't
already.
there?
That's the first paragraph. Manuel Williams, 36, got into a wild fight with his girlfriend and her ex, Tyson Hawthorne, 38. They were sitting in a double-parked SUV on East 149th Street about 4 p.m.
So this sounds like the current boyfriend
Was
The girl-
arguing with
the ex-boyfriend and the
and the
girlfriend.
girl.
and the
Girlfriend.
girlfriend. So maybe he's not the boyfriend.
Not the boyfriend anymore.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, so the detectives arrested the guy on a murder charge, but the grand jury voted to dismiss the case, believing he killed the other guy in self-defense.
So it sounds like he probably wasn't the instigator. I don't know how you could have got off if he provoked it.
Here's the thing. The fatal fight began outside a liquor store, which is
Sounds about right.
Yeah. They were arguing
So
and
they're-
cursing at each
They're
other.
double parked in front of the liquor store
Yeah.
in Queens, right?
And the witness says
Or
they
the
were
Bronx.
arguing and cursing at each other, yelling, "Stupid mother blah," you know.
We get it.
Yeah. Surveillance video obtained by the news shows the perpetrator, the self-defense guy, standing next to the SUV, arguing with the people inside for just over a minute.
Huh.
How is
This
that
is a-
self-defense?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you
That's a
get-
bizarre story.
The person who defended himself walked around to the driver's side of the SUV, yanked open the door, and started stabbing the driver.
What?
I know. It's totally backwards. This can't be true, right?
See, we're missing something.
Yep.
Yeah.
When the passenger door opened, the person who defended himself hustled around the front of the SUV and jumped in. He hung on as the vehicle lurched forward.
This is a way too confusing
It
story.
is.
The ex-boyfriend
The dead guy.
also suffered a slash wound during the fight.
Was the ex-boyfriend the guy who was charged, or was he the guy
No, the
who
current
died?
boyfriend was charged. The
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend
died?
who was hanging out with his ex-girlfriend, with the other guy's current girlfriend.
Okay.
It's just very confusing.
Double parked in front of the liquor store.
Yep.
Everything with this story is wrong.
So in self-defense, if you're arguing with somebody for a minute, how can that be self-defense? You should leave, right?
Yeah, because you
yeah,
can.
well, yeah, but arguing isn't. There's nothing wrong with that in and of itself.
Okay, so a source said the two men had a long-standing beef and had often fought with each other.
Good grief!
I know, right? So the person who defended himself was previously attacked by the other guy and got stabbed in the eye with a pair of scissors.
Oh! Well, so he's just defending himself from that incident.
Yeah, a year ago.
That makes perfect sense
jeez.
now.
Fortunately, the wound was luckily superficial because he was wearing glasses. So you should wear glasses.
Huh.
Basically, the family of the person who was apparently the perpetrator, who also died, according to the grand jury, they're pissed off.
No kidding.
I don't believe that justice was served. That guy will go back home to his family where we are still planning services for Tyson. So this sounds to me
Weird.
exactly the opposite of self-defense.
Yeah.
So I thought I would mention this because our legal system is not a slam dunk one way or the other.
No.
If you clearly defend yourself, you can get railroaded.
Yeah.
If you argue and pick a fight and stab somebody
To death.
to death and have a long history of stabbing each other, you can get off scot-free. So I don't know what
That's
that means.
crazy.
What it means is you should probably have the name of a very good defense attorney
Yeah.
on you at all times.
Yep.
Because apparently a good lawyer is a
I do.
yeah.
I do.
Good.
I have a good criminal defense attorney that I've already talked to him.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there because this was so
Bizarre.
upside down and bizarre.
If you
yeah.
live in New York and you're familiar with the story and can shed more light on it for us, let us know.
Please do.
Because that's just weird. It doesn't seem right the way that played out.
This
At least the way
occurred.
it was written up.
This occurred it was in the New York Daily News, December 3rd.
Very current.
Yep.
Huh.
So if you live in New York, please explain how New York works.
Good luck.
All right, let's move on to our topic. So for the topic this episode, we are talking about Christmas gift ideas for gun people.
Sure.
So let's go round robin.
So my idea is it's winter now.
Uh-huh.
Indoor shooting ranges are comfortable. I was thinking range pass for the shooter in your family or
Sure. That's
whatever.
not a bad idea.
And, if they have ammo and stuff to bring along with them, that's great. But a lot of times ranges are conserving the ammo to sell to shooters who
that
are
are
using the
their
range.
range, yeah.
So it might not be a bad idea to get a 10 pass or whatever
Yeah.
to your local range.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
a good idea. So I went a little bit different. Just like we mentioned earlier, we all like guns, we all like knives, we all like flashlights.
Yeah.
Those are things that kind of collect. I really, really like the Mora knife So it's a Swedish company, MORA.
That was his $10 knife
IV.
that you brought that one time.
I remember that.
They are fantastic knives, and they are on sale right now at Blade HQ for $8.
And the guy that we interviewed a while back is the guy that works at Blade HQ.
And he likes them.
The guy,
So there.
the Cougar guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's actually a marketing guy for Blade HQ.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're a fantastic knife. They have a very sharp Scandi grind blade.
What's a Scandi grind?
That's just the type of, it's kind of a hollow grind.
Okay.
I think it's a hollow grind. But they're super easy to resharpen. It's high carbon steel. So what's cool about high carbon steel is you can use it to get a spark off of a ferro rod for fire starting. This model of knife is the 511. That should be easy for everyone to remember. But I couldn't get it to spark. And I looked at it, and the back edge of it was more or less kind of unrefined. It didn't have a finish on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I clamped it in my vise in some leather, ran my file over it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks awesome now.
So was there a layer of oxide or something on it?
Something like that, yeah. To put it into perspective, I look at these knives as kind of a lightweight bushcrafting knife. They're not a real thick, heavy blade, but they're good size for a lot of utilitarian
Wasn't
stuff.
this a fixed blade thing?
Yeah,
that-
it's a fixed
Wasn't
blade
it
knife.
like orange?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I remember.
Day-glow
You were
orange.
so proud of that thing.
They're awesome.
I know.
They're awesome knives, and for $8, they're
It's a good
great
stocking
gift items.
stuffer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fantastic. And I've used Mora knives for wood carving and stuff like that for years.
If you give that as a gift, you may have to explain it for about a half an hour, though.
How it's not just an $8 knife.
You know what? I don't think it looks like an $8 knife. I think they're
The
awesome.
funniest part was on that episode, you asked each of us how much we thought it cost.
Yeah.
And then Mark guessed it like right on. He's like, well, it looks like a bargain bin, like $7 knife. And it was like right on.
I like them. They're fantastic, and they do a lot of other stuff. I'd like to get one of their bushcrafting knives one of these days, but they're not $8.
No, for like $12.50.
No, they're about between 50 and 80.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My turn?
Sure.
All right. So this is like totally different from you guys, but I was going to say
Shoes.
no.
Oh.
I was going to say if you are a shooter that has steel targets, one thing that I always love getting as a gift,
Spray paint.
spray paint. My kids always know for Father's Day to get Dad spray paint. And they have a fun time picking out different colors and stuff. I just tell them not to get brown or earthy tones that blend in with the background. But bright, hot pink, like greens, reds, pinks, blues.
So when your children,
Yeah.
Young children go into a hardware store and they get a case of
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, you have
like
to
no
be.
problem, right?
I think you have to be, 18 to buy spray paint?
I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my kids are young enough that my wife has to take them anyways. So. But that is a cheap gift that I always appreciate.
That's
So
a good
if
idea.
someone hands me a can of spray paint, I'm like, woo! Because then I don't have to buy it.
I'd rather
But-
have an $8 knife.
I don't know. And what's cool about it though is I've got like this couple of plastic bins full of different spray paints. And so then when the kids have a project or something, they're like, we need to paint this. I'm like, I have every color available,
Do you ever go out and shoot them?
Shoot what? Spray
The cans? Yeah.
Nah.
Good.
No.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Because that's bad for the environment.
Yeah.
But no, having a
Especially
fresh
if you
can
have
of spray paint to paint your targets. So I don't clean my guns every time I go shooting.
Bet you cleaned your
But
targets.
as soon as I'm done shooting, I take the targets, throw them down on this big board, and then I
Spray.
coat them and I put them away all painted. So then next time I take them out, they're perfect. So, anyways, spray paint, and then I was gonna say along with that, powder coating powders. That's another thing that the kids can get me, and it's fun.
Where do you get those?
Those are a little trickier. You just buy them online, but there's a store called powderbythepound.com, but it's not BY, it's BUY. So you buy the powder
In 1 pound increments?
in 1 pound increments usually. But glass clear is one of my favorite powders. People always ask me because different powders coat the bullets better.
Right.
But glass clear gives it a clear. That's what this is. The one that I showed you, the little 38 special. It's got a clear coat.
Yeah, you
And
look at it, it doesn't even look
It just
coated.
looks like a cast bullet.
Right.
And it's shiny, but it has a nice clear coat over it. So, powder coating powders and spray paint. Love them.
Well, it's a great idea. I am just so bowled over by these amazing ideas I can't hardly even think of anything else. What about powders that might be available? You mentioned something. If somebody's a reloader, you mentioned Trail Boss. Is that because you can get Trail Boss when you can't find other powders?
You can find Trail Boss right now. And I was going to mention...
2 weeks you won't.
Oh, one of the other things I did with guns, I ordered like $600 worth of powders.
Nice.
Yeah, so Owl's Sporting Goods, they had powders like for like under $20 a pound.
Wow.
And, the same powder selling at other shops, local shops for, like close to $30 a pound.
Huh.
So that was a significant savings. So any kind of powder that I normally use, if it was on the sale,
You bought it.
I bought it. I bought them out of a lot of powders. Like they had like 3 of this or 3 of that, and so I did it. But I'm anticipating shortages all around, not just like primers right now.
Right.
But so that's why I was telling Mark to buy the Trail Boss powder now while it's available.
Okay.
So.
Well, I just wondered if there was a powder that you always seem to be able to find and you can, make work in a variety of calibers.
So Unique powder is one of my favorites.
It's pronounced eunuch.
Unique.
You
Unique
always get
powder?
that wrong.
Yeah. But you can use that in like 9mm, the revolver cartridges, 45 ACP. I'm not sure if you use it in 10mm or not, but like all the revolver cartridges. I have a 4570 load, and that one is like 405, like the 405 grain cast bullet with 13 grains of Unique. That's a nice, light, awesome shooter. You should do some of those.
Neat. Well, so I was wondering.
So Unique is a good one. Varget is a great rifle powder. I like Ramshot tack. But if I had like Varget, tack, and Unique, I could load a lot of things.
Okay. Well, I was thinking.
But don't buy those powders if you're in Utah.
What about a dry fire system? Whether it be a laser.
Laser Light has a
right.
laser bullet and laser target system. Those are cool.
That seems in this day and age, it might not be a bad way for somebody, especially indoors in the winter, to get some trigger time and improve their shooting without burning up a lot of ammo.
I used to, before I moved to my shop that I'm in now, I had 8x11 targets printed up like silhouettes and stapled all over the end of my shop.
Yeah.
And when I would take a break and I would, put my laser round in and do dry fire practice on just paper targets.
I've got in the mag holder production area / garage, got a bunch of targets up on this big beam above the garage door. And I just shoot, I got a 1911 BB gun.
Oh,
the
nice.
CO2, so I get a lot of trigger time with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and then air guns, those are a good way to, because all it costs is pellets.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that was one of my ideas, is a couple tins of pellets for the air gunner.
Somebody's got an air gun.
Yeah, that's a
Or
good...
get somebody an air gun.
Do that.
Yeah. If you have more money.
There are going to be a lot of people looking harder at air guns in the next year with ammo drying up.
Well, and on the dry fire thing again, I can't imagine somebody not appreciating that. You may need to find out, what caliber is most, they're most into or whatever. But some of those laser things you can even get the cans that tip over when you shoot them.
Yeah.
All that cool stuff.
Yeah.
I can't imagine somebody not appreciating something like that.
Yeah, they're kind of fun. So I've got 2 more. Another cheap, easy one goes along with the cheap knife.
A high point?
No.
Cheap knife and a yeet cannon.
No. What's the name of it? Work Sharp makes some really cool little knife sharpeners that you can pick up for like $5.
Oh, those are great.
Really
The ones with
awesome.
the two little
Yeah.
the V-shaped
There's
ceramic
a coarser
rods or
one
whatever.
and a finer one.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Are those the ones that spin the roller?
No,
you
no,
just
no.
There's
slide your
sticks.
knife
Okay.
over it.
Yeah, it has on the one side like carbide or something.
Yeah.
Something to
It's
I don't know if it's carbide, but
it's a coarser one and then a fine one.
Yeah.
On the other side, so you can, if you've got a rougher edge, you can sharpen it with that and then hone it with the fine one. But $5, throw it in somebody's stocking. I think they're great just to throw in a bug out bag, so you've got something if you are out
Yeah.
for an extended time and need
And
something like
opening
that.
up boxes dulls your knife like
Oh, yeah.
faster. So I use that the V block,
Yeah.
quick knife sharpener often because
That's-
I cut so many boxes
Yep,
open and
mine sits on my bench at the shop and that gets used regularly. The other thing I was thinking that this is something that not a lot of people may not buy for themselves, but would be totally appreciative as a gift is the Maglula mag loaders.
That's
Oh, yeah.
not a bad idea.
Those are, and they're fairly inexpensive, $30-40 I think. And like I said, it might not be something that somebody would spend on their own.
yeah, you wouldn't
but
buy it on your own, but if
But
you,
it was given to you, you'd be like, oh, this is awesome.
yeah, no, that is a
So-
cool idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking spare mags. It's
Yeah.
always a good time to have a few extra mags.
It is.
Especially with all these people buying new guns.
Yeah.
You'll want to have more than what the gun comes with.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
at least 5 mags per
Tom
gun or
Gresham
something.
says, 10 mags for every gun you own.
Yeah, that would get.
Yeah, so
I'd have to have lots of.
That's a bit excessive, but yeah, I like to have at least 3 or 4 for every gun.
Yeah.
P-mags are still $14 and
Yeah.
very plentiful.
And they run.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work well.
Yep.
So.
Which
Okay.
I saw on P-mags because my cousin's son was asking me, can you leave these loaded? I'm like, they're fine. And I saw a video of, or something online somewhere, must have been Instagram and Magpul, and the guy in the comments from Magpul made a comment. He's like, we have some of our original mags that have been loaded for 14 years. They're fine.
Did you see about or hear about the test I did?
Uh-uh.
I stuck a loaded mag in my safe. It was 12 years ago,
Yeah.
and then
What-
I took
what
it out.
mag?
It was one of the Gen 1 original P mags,
Yeah.
and I took it out as a
Do you
test
have
and
that
shot
thing
it.
across the top? That
No.
does
No,
good?
those didn't
'Cause-
come with it.
No, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, but I wanted to see if it would bend the feed lips over time.
Yeah.
And so I took it, threw it in my wife's AR-15, and then pop,
Yeah.
shot all 30 rounds with
And
no,
people
no
that
issues.
tell you your pistol mags, it's going to fatigue the spring.
Nope.
It won't.
That's not how
And
springs
Carl,
work.
and Carl proved that when he shot his grandfather's World War II 1911 with a magazine that had been loaded during World War
Yeah.
II. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
50-year-old magazine, yep.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I think the brass was green, and he still loaded it, and it fired flawlessly. So don't
That's
worry about
cool.
leaving your magazines loaded.
Yeah, it's cycles, not compression, that wears out the
Yeah.
springs.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, little tangent.
One other tiny tangent. The dust cover on the P-Mags, it's not really to keep the dust out. What it is it
Yeah.
does...
It depresses
it
the...
depresses it just a
Keeps
teeny
the
bit.
pressure
yeah.
off the feed
Yeah.
lips.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did a 12-year test. I was going to do it for 10 years, and then I
You
forgot.
Forgot.
Yeah, and then this year I was looking in my safe, and I was like, oh, I have this. I can make a video out of this. Because back then I didn't do any YouTube stuff or anything.
Right.
I was just going to do it for me.
So what
Right.
about the P-Mag Glock mags? Do you think they're as good?
Huh. I
I-
think they work pretty good. I have a couple and
Yeah.
I use them, but the whole knowing how it holds up over time, it requires time.
You
Yeah.
just need to put that in your safe.
But if
Yeah.
you look at Magpul's track record, personally, I wouldn't have any concerns about it.
'Kay.
Any other gift ideas?
Yes.
Okay.
So for the reloader and caster in your life, bullet molds. Bullet molds, like one bullet mold can bring so much excitement, activity, enjoyment, all of the above. Because if some people like to tinker with loads, like me,
Yeah.
and so one new bullet mold is like opening
Opens
up
up
a big Pandora's box
Right.
worth of like possibilities.
So you could even just call Al here, and even if you don't know what bullet mold that person wants, just get like a gift certificate or something, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they do gift
Well,
certificates.
call Al and try to give him money, and he'll tell you what to do.
I do
Yeah.
gift certificates, in case you're wondering.
All you
That's a
gotta,
good idea.
All you gotta do is look at what caliber,
Actually, that's a good idea.
I thought so.
You have friends with new guns?
Yeah.
Buy him some Cobra drop leg holsters.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, a new mold is always awesome to play with, but also especially now it's significant with the ammo shortages. If you can cast,
There's-
and all you really need is a metal ladle and a
And a
cast
pot.
iron pot and a heat source. I've seen people cast on a single burner hot plate.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously, if you get one of the bottom pour melting pots, casting pots, those are
It's
way
faster,
easier and faster. But to get started, you can always ladle cast.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and my prediction for the coming year, Al's business, bullet molds and stuff like that, and air guns are going to go through the roof with how hard it's going to be, or it's getting to get ammo and everything else. I think a lot more people are going to jump into that. So
yeah.
help somebody get into it.
Yeah. Help someone get into it, and you could always get a reloading kit or a casting kit.
Yeah.
And then they can watch some videos and learn how to do it.
There you go.
So,
If you needed to sneak something in and you had kids that were of an appropriate age, you could get them a rock tumbler. And then you could go buy some steel pins and use it to process your own brass.
Yep. It doesn't. I mean, you can reload very primitively. Like you can take some dish soap and just rinse your brass, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to do all the things that we do.
You don't have
as
to have
reloaders.
stainless
You don't
steel
have to
tumbler
have brass that like
Gleams.
just gleams and shines and stuff.
Makes you
As long as it's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's clean, it's good enough. But
Yeah.
for function. But we like shiny stuff, and we like stuff that
Oh, yeah.
looks good when it's done. So, but yeah, those are some of the things I thought of, and obviously, if you can find ammo for what the person you're buying for, if you find their caliber in stock, then you can get it. Also, the powders, primers, that kind of stuff. That's always good too. Brass.
Yep.
Don't feel super weird about. I mean, I wouldn't encourage everybody to go out and start paying, a $1.25 or a $1.50 around for range ammo, though.
No.
No.
Don't reward the.
The gougers.
Yeah.
Prices are going up because the cost is going up. So that's naturally going to happen. But yeah, a buck around for 9mm. Come on, people.
That's what it's selling for.
I was going to say, you could always go to the local gun shop and then look at the ammo shelf and see what ammo is in stock and then buy a gun.
I have been doing.
Buy a
I haven't
gun
bought
or-
the gun, but I have been doing exactly that.
Or a used gun, that shoots that
What
caliber.
What calibers have you noticed still on the shelf?
10mm,
Is-
a little bit.
I don't ever buy ammo, so I don't know.
Yeah, 6mm. Yeah, Creedmoor.
Six Creedmoor?
6 Creedmoor.
41 Magnum.
Yeah,
I think that's in stock, but man, it's expensive when it is.
Well, it's always expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is funny because you can actually cast and load 41 mag for like dirt cheap. And so it's crazy. Some of those cartridges, like 4570, the ammo's really expensive, and you can load it like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So cost of a primer, the lead, a little bit of powder.
I also noticed, and I was walking down the rifle cartridge aisle, but 7mm. There was still a variety of 7mm.
7 mag, 708, 7 all kinds of things. Or,
I just noticed 7mm.
There's a lot of 7mm.
But there was also 300 Win Mag was still on the shelf. So it's probably worthwhile to go walk down the aisle of the store, see what's still on the shelf, and consider buying something that shoots that.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, if
excuse to buy
you
another
don't,
gun.
well, I was gonna say if you don't cast and reload,
Yeah.
then buying another gun is probably cheaper
Yeah.
if you wanna still shoot. So
Well, it's definitely cheaper than getting into it full bore from ground zero.
well, I'm saying it's cheaper than paying the high prices.
Yeah.
Like shooting a 10 millimeter is probably cheaper now than shooting a 9 millimeter.
Yeah,
Weird,
That
but
is,
yeah.
It's
that's
really weird, but
probably
it's true. So.
That's what I've been looking for.
And if you find 40,
10 millimeter.
last time I looked, 40, the Smith & Wesson, there's a lot, but I think even that has like
Probably started
gotten
to.
sold
That
out.
was Grandma told me she does have a. She's like, I can't find any 380 ammo. I only have 20 rounds. I said, that's okay. You got 223. Yeah, I got 1,000 rounds of that. I said, okay, you're good
That's
there.
good, yeah.
She's
Man,
like, what
Grandma
about my
is so
40?
awesome.
I was thinking I was just gonna sell it. I'm like, don't sell it. I said, you can probably still buy ammo for it right now. And
I've got this image in my mind of the "Where's the beef lady" from the 80s. You go, where's the ammo?
she's a young grandma.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, she'd probably cringe with us referring
Calling
to
her
her as grandma. But technically, she is a great grandma. She does
Whoa.
have a great grandchild.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think she's just a great grandma.
she is.
We should have her on the show.
We
I'll
should,
talk to
But
her.
I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we're
But
over time.
if you guys have good gift ideas for Christmas for the shooter in your life,
Please
then
send them to the Concealed Taco Dude studio.
yes, send them to us.
The gifts.
Give them
Yeah.
to
Mail them
us.
to us.
But I was gonna say, yeah, give us some feedback. ConcealedTacoDudes@gmail.com.
I want to know what's your everyday carry knife. I'm looking for a new folder. I like the flippers. What are you guys carrying? What do you like? Give me some suggestions.
Okay.
Okay.
Until next time, stay safe.
Be nice.
Have fun.
Go shoot if you can.
If you can afford it.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next week.
You got the Diet Shasta.
No.
That would wake me up, but then I would probably like have that nasty metallic taste in my mouth for like the next hour, 2 hours.